Division 2 Season 9 introduced expertise changes that they're having to tweak and slightly roll back. Some people are obviously very upset. Some players are not going to be affected by this at all. Where do you fall in the process? And what does this mean for the future of the Division 2? We recently covered the Division 2 Season 9 update, saying that this felt like sort of the beginning of the rudder turn, and that this could be related to that if they have long-term plans for the game. I've got the details for you right here at the beginning of the video, so make sure and hit subscribe, the bell button, and all those things. We are covering the Division 2 expertise new update that they had to announce on Twitter, and we'll do this quickly in an update and then discuss it with the live audience. This is a Reforge update. Division 2 expertise is being rolled back for some players, given something that was unanticipated by the developers. What does this mean for right now, as well as the future of the Division 2 and the updated recent Season 9 that they just rolled out? As always, if you like these quick updates, hit subscribe and the bell button, and check me out over on Reforge Gaming, where I stream live. So FutureGameReleases.com reported on this and said that Division 2 has met yet another roadblock. It's not the first nor the last time that we are seeing something like this, mainly happening in the Division 2, the third-person action RPG developed by Massive Entertainment. Apparently, there has been a new problem that seeks attention, and it will result in resetting the player's expertise level and recalculating every player's progress. According to the developer, discrepancies should be expected. So what exactly happened? They posted a fairly lengthy message on Twitter. The Division 2 team revealed a mistake in the number of proficiency points gained from kill XP, which should result in a small patch. The expertise level for Season 9 is 20, which means if this issue remains untouched, there will be an extremely high expertise level, which could have a considerable impact on the long-term and balance of the game. So this is something that is more than likely necessary for future plans. And what we did was we compared Season 9 to Division 1.4. Division 1.4 in the first game was sort of the beginning of them building something that was more sustainable, and Division 1.8 was essentially what everybody saw as the grand arrival of Division 1. And many people have looked at Season 9 and thought, for the Division 2, this is the beginning of those stages. Now, what exactly will UB be doing? Players who dedicated time throughout this season and got affected by this will be compensated with SHD caches, including materials. Still, it's rather unlikely to see the compensation packages reflect the whole material expenditure, and that's why the developers team stated that this is impossible to grant the same amount of materials invested due to a lack of in-game data. So here is the official word from Ubisoft. They said, "Agents, we have made updates following the discovery of a mistake in the amount of proficiency points gained from kill XP and have been forced to recalculate every player's progress. The expected expertise level for Season 9 is 20, and allowing higher levels now will have considerable impact on the long-term balance of the game." So they're making it very clear this was a mistake, they're owning it, but this is not something they can allow to continue because they have future plans. This season doesn't exist in a vacuum. The adjustment will be rolled out on May 31st. That's today when I'm recording this. This will impact most players active during Season 9 and will bring their expertise level back to the level that it should be. This will also impact any item upgraded. We will be granting SHD caches, including materials, to all affected players as compensation for the feature rollback and the materials you have invested in gear upgrades. You can expect the update on the compensation availability later this week. Please be warned that this is not possible for us to grant the exact same amount of materials invested due to lack of in-game data. Discrepancies are to be expected. So there are some players that will be affected by this more than others, those that kind of went beyond it. Now, my producer, when we were looking at covering this, he's like, dude, these are probably people that cheated or found an exploit or found some way to blast really high. Now, I'm not saying that's true of you if this is affecting you in a pretty negative way, but more than likely, this is a very sort of, we've got to do this now before it gets worse, as well as what it'll do to the future seasons. I am actually encouraged, although people are probably pretty disappointed by this, because this means they are thinking long-term about the game. They're not just sort of throwing these seasons out there for the sake of doing it. As always, if you like these updates, check out Reforge Gaming, where I stream live, and hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This may be affecting you more than others. I wanted to cover this because it really gives ground to some of our theories that Division 2 is heavily investing in their future. If they're rolling back something like this, it's pretty painful to do something like this. It's painful to admit that, something happened. It's painful to admit you made a mistake and you got to roll back things and take currency from people. However, they're doing the painful thing because it's necessary. Now, Fuzzy says that's not true. This will affect everyone, but will affect those at higher levels more, but it's not a problem. Right. If you're not all the way at the higher levels, you're probably more likely to get the appropriate compensation, would be my guess, right? Yo, it's good, Feed. Good morning, sir. Have an awesome day. You too, Feed. Creature says, can confirm there was an exploit. People were kind of exploiting the system, says Gary, but not in the way they thought, if that makes sense. Well, and that's more than likely why this mistake rose to the surface. A lot of the times this happens in video games, right? Like somebody figures out the most backwards, weird thing they can do. Like, well, if you walk up the ladder and then drop off backwards, it reads your level twice. And when it reads your level twice, it drops twice the amount of gear, but the enemies aren't twice as hard. You know what I'm saying? There's always those really weird, odd, stupid things that happen. If you guys are watching on TikTok, thanks for watching over there. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching there. Make sure you're smashing the like button. That helps out the video. That helps out the performance. If you've never been here before, hit subscribe and the bell button. I am a safe for work broadcaster, and we cover a whole host of stuff. I've even got an Elden Ring story for you for our second show today. We can't cover Elden Ring Friday with Diablo Immortal landing on Thursday, as well as Sony State of Play happening on Thursday. We will not be in a position to avoid those topics Friday. So we are going to need to be able to do that. We're going to do it a little. So basically, we're doing the Elden Ring coverage a little bit early. But Division news, Light Leap. It's bad news, but it's good news in my book. So what they're doing is they discovered that people were getting higher on expertise level than they're supposed to. They're supposed to get to 20 for the Division 2 Season 9, and they're getting beyond that. And because they're getting beyond that, they're having to recalculate everybody's expertise to remove this. They were getting too much kill XP or something. And so they're having to recalculate everybody. And this is obviously irritating folks because they might have worked really hard and feel like this is kind of unfair. Some people were using an exploit, and they're going to give people compensation for the materials that invested. So because you invest materials into the guns when they hit certain when they're hitting these expertise levels and you're taking them up, and they want to ensure that people are compensated for that. And nobody's going to get the exact amount they're supposed to get. Now, the reason I say it's bad news, but it's also good news, is because this means they're heavily invested into the future of this game. I just got an email about a game called Coffee House, another sim game. Have you ever dreamed of doing this? Yeah, for sure. Can you send me a code? Let's see here. I'm just going to reply. Can I get an early access code to record a first look for my first look channel? Can I get it? I can't spell it easily. I'm just going to start asking these companies, like, give me early access. Like, I'm not going to break embargo. I'll do it on launch date, but quit telling me about your games. Give me codes for your games, and I'll cover them. We've got a game hitting today called Sonority. They sent us a code. That's hitting our first look channel where you solve puzzles with musical notes. It's actually pretty cool. I was hoping it was taking King Style Reset expansion from the title. Don't know what expertise is. So basically, expertise is weapon level, right? Is weapon level. So they launched Division 2 Season 9 launches, and it's like, hey, we have this whole new system. They also have the Division 2 Countdown, a brand new game mode that apparently is just raining loot on people. So the response was good, and people thought, hey, this is a really good turning point. We've gone a long ways without any updates. We've gone a long ways without any seasons. This sounds pretty good, right? Well, as it is with any game like this, people start finding path of least resistance. People start pushing against the soft spots in the walls, and they find, exploits, and they get to high level. Now, that's why I said this is good news, because we theorized in our coverage when we covered the Division 2 Season 9 release. We said, listen, this is the beginning of the rudder turn. They're laying groundwork for much bigger things, which is exactly why they had to roll this back. You can't have people strutting into the Division 2 Season 10 being like, hey, I'm expertise level 37, and they were meant to walk from Season 9 to Season 10 as expertise level 20. Does that make sense? So it's good. You know, it's good that they're doing this. It's just a bummer that as soon as they start to turn the rudder, they have to kind of smack the community back down unintentionally to be like, hey, we got to recalculate, you guys. Sorry about this, right? Creature says, okay, so here's what triggered it. There's a mission in New York called The Tombs. People found a kill and wipe section that they ran wild with. People were hitting max expertise in hours. I just logged in, and they took about a level and a half from my expertise level. So Creature has been playing this game pretty regularly, and he's been telling me, he's like, listen, the Division 2 is going to have a moment. It is. It's going to have a moment. We should be covering it and regularly checking in on it. I've been considering playing it off stream, you know, to get my character into a place that I can dive into Season 10, because we didn't get to dive into Season 9. I didn't get to. I was unable to check out any of the new stuff because I hadn't even done the Warlords of New York yet. And I was really enjoying my time. I really, really was. I thought that the Warlords of New York was enjoyable, and I've heard really, really good things about the countdown mode and everything else. So I dropped between 1 and 2 levels, says Fuzzy. Just checked. I'll live. Okay. So yeah, that's why I said at the beginning, this is going to hurt people it's going to hurt some more than others. Some people are really going to get knocked back down. Barrier renewing his membership, hitting a 10-month milestone. Thanks for being a member for 10 months, Barrier. Welcome back in. Good morning, my Ray homies. That's right, my Ray home. If you guys are not a member, man, we really need to see those member numbers continue to climb, because this is just a very, very dry time for gaming news. So we appreciate everybody maintaining and jumping in or even upgrading their membership. We did enhance those 4 perks for Tier 2 members. If you're already a member, you can order coffee or consider upgrading to Tier 2. We thank you, everybody who's jumped in. If you can't do memberships, we understand. We do extra content for members because we do not run advertisements on here almost ever. The solo experience is worth the price alone, says Creature. Yeah, when you could buy literally the entire game of the Division 2 for like $16 with everything, and they give you a level jump to 30. They gave me all 6 of the specialists already unlocked and everything. I was like, this is fantastic. I can just jump right in. This will probably be the last time you'll see me here, says Donovan. I'm moving to Idaho for school, and we'll have a jam-packed schedule. Thank you for everything, Lono and chat. Well, we wish you luck, Donovan. Hopefully you can come back periodically and just lurk while you're working on school. Throw me on in the background like a radio show, you know. That's always helpful. Savage Sharkbite hitting a renewal and hitting that 10-month milestone. Thank you so much, Savage, for renewing your membership. Enjoy that continued use of all those perks. Let's get some new folks to jump in, get a little member train going, keep those members at the top of the chat. You guys are the absolute best. Thanks for already hitting 100 likes. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. The Division 2 Expertise new update is they're having to recalculate everybody. So if you're just tuning in, it's going to affect you. We're already having reports of people losing 1 to 2 levels of expertise. There was an exploit and sort of an unanticipated XP earn rate that people were getting, and they were getting too much expertise. So we are reporting on this. We do like covering loot-based games. Hey, another 10-month milestone. Tattoos renewing and hitting a 10th month in a row. Thank you so much, and welcome back, Tattoos, for keeping that membership going. Omar says, Uplay has a sale that ends today on all of their titles, the Division included. Legend 22 takes $10 off each purchase. Actually, better to buy one at a time and get $10 off each game. There you go. Creature says, Countdown is so fun and the targeted loot is such a rush. Fuzzy says, it's so good right now, I can't stop playing. The build crafting is top tier. Gary says, it was something glitch with kill XP, but most people won't be too affected, as donating weapons is pretty sufficient for leveling expertise. Only those who farm drones a lot will be hurt. It definitely will affect some people way more than others. That is 100% true. 11-month milestone from Water Marlin. Oh, hey, I have a thing too. Thank you for renewing and hitting your 11th month. Anybody else find it a bit weird when realistic strategy tactic games increase damage output on realistic guns with leveling? It's kind of whack. Well, here's essentially what it is, Derek. They're taking the principles behind like a min-maxing RPG, and instead of you having a wand or a sword, you have guns and gear. It makes sense to take functioning systems from other games and put them in a context where somebody might say, bro, I ain't about all that fantasy sword, shield, wizard stuff, but you give me a gun and cover-based shooting mechanics, and I'm in. You let me do a little sniping, a little shotgunning, a little rolling around on the ground, right? That's why it works. Like, the idea, this happened with Borderlands, okay? Because we kind of got into this discussion the other day, Derek. You're like, I don't like when I see the numbers pop up. Borderlands was drawn up on a paper napkin at a restaurant where they came up with the idea of, could we make a game, could we make a shooter that's basically Diablo, where you run around and you get guns and you get gear, and it has stats, and you level up, and you have a skill tree, but it's a shooter. So the modern looter shooter was essentially, it owes everything to Borderlands, which then, through Borderlands, owes everything to Diablo. So having a game that grabs the rule set and the genre and the idea of something else, but puts it in the context of a shooter, cover-based shooter, or whatever, I actually think is quite brilliant. It certainly isn't for everyone. Somebody may play Borderlands or The Division 2 and be like, this is so odd. This is so weird, right? I think that's why I got bored of The Division 2 eventually. It's a great loop, and it's satisfying combat, but I wish it was on another planet or something. Maybe their Star Wars MMO will be that, not MMO looter shooter. Yeah, Borderlands is the looter shooter GOAT. That's right. Borderlands is the grandfather of looter shooters. If you play a game right now and you're doing the looties and the shooties, you owe that to Borderlands, which is why it's so sad. I'm thrilled that Tiny Tina did better than their expectations. I think that that's great. But it's not so great that they didn't do very well with Borderlands 3. I don't know what that franchise is in for. I really don't. I don't think I've ever been put off of a video game for not being realistic. If anything, being too realistic throws me off. It's why I can't play Escape from Tarkov and Siege. Tattoos, there was a game I played a very, very long time ago with my friends. We talked about this a while. Flashpoint Dragon something. And I mean, it was real. You would quite literally run hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards. Your character would get winded, and if you got shot once or twice, you were dead. And it was intense, but it's fun in extremely small doses because it's just so easy to have everything go up topsy-turvy on you. So you end up playing you overcompensate, and you play incredibly slow, right? Very disappointed in Wonderland's DLC. It's really unfortunate that the game's initial sales outdid their expectations, and then they're absolutely just absolutely choking, on the DLCs. I take time off from The Division 2. That's the healthy thing to do, says Fuzzy. Before this update, I didn't play in like 6 months. Hilly says, imagine using Diablo as a template and not using the Diablo 2 loot system. I'm not familiar enough with the Diablo 2 loot system to compare Borderlands 1 to Diablo 2. I'm not familiar enough, right? I get the appeal, and I like upgrading bullets or the gun receiver or barrel. I just think it's weird when a rifle is more powerful just by virtue of shooting it more often. Yeah. Well, I mean, why does your sword or your shield get better? Because you take it to a weird guy and you give him, stones, and he hits the sword a couple times, right? Bink, bink. I mean, it's just an RPG element that's very, very common. If you're just tuning in, we are discussing the Division 2 Expertise new update. They just rolled this out today. It was announced yesterday. They are recalculating every single player's expertise in the Division 2. That is happening today. So you're going to want to log in and see where your expertise is at. Magic and muscles. That's right. That's right. If it was just a different game now, it is a different game now, but that's just what they do in the Division. I'm actually curious about something. The Division 2 Season 9. Did you jump back in or try it out? So did you jump back in or try it out? Or try it out brand new? Did you jump back in or try it out brand new? Yes or no? Let's see if this works today. Hey, East Coast Overlord with a $2 tip through YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for that. You know what also works? I bet you the coffee command works. We didn't sell any coffee yesterday. Who wants to buy some coffee? We've got some stickers on the way. I'm very excited about this. Well, we've got some news forthcoming on the coffee, but you can order it right now. And it supports me directly. It is not a sponsor. My wife and kiddos bag it up and ship it to you. If you are a coffee drinker and you have never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you should try our coffee. Light Roast is the most drinkable coffee I think I've ever had. It's great for non-coffee drinkers to get introduced to coffee, and the Dark Roast is the same base flavor but roasted up a bit more. More caffeine in the Light Roast, obviously less in the dark. Use that coffee command. Order some coffee today. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month. You get a bunch of extra perks and extra content, and it helps support the channel directly. I jumped back in to see what was new, says Raijin. For the price, why not? Yes or no? Yeah. I'm not doing did you jump back in or did you try it for the first time? I'm lumping those together. Did you jump back in or try it for the first time? Yes or no? Like, how did Season 9 make you play the game, essentially? Did it get you to play? Yo, what's good? A mic on to Mike. How are you? I tried it out, but it didn't feel that different. Fun for a short amount of time, says Shenanigans. I wish they added back the old modes from Division 1. Yeah, everybody has been saying that Division 2 survival mode would just be killer. It would be killer because survival was actually very, very well praised and liked in the Division 1. People really, really enjoyed it. Creature says Countdown was worth the $16. I purchased a bag last week. Geek to Sneak, I thanked you on the next stream, I think, because I went upstairs, got my email, and we were in the next stream, and I thanked you for your coffee order. So thank you for that. That is correct. I remember you doing that. Level 1 to 30 matchmaking may be a little bit dry, but you can manage solo. Assault drone is a good distraction for enemies. Fuzzy says Countdown is fun AF, but survival would be a blast. I haven't played in roughly 2 years, says Fox Hop Smash. Says, I'm liking it. Always really have. So much to relearn. East Coast Overlord tipping $5 through YouTube Super Chat. Wanted to say this yesterday. Got my email for my Steam Deck. Looking forward to playing Fallen Order and Survivor on it. Slap like, folks. Thank you so much, East Coast Overlord, for doing those tips and supporting the channel like that. K. Billy says, for the price, the amount of content's amazing, and the story is actually very good. I was enjoying the story in Warlords of New York. I was enjoying the story. I found it to be enjoyable, and I hadn't played it. I was jumping in brand new. You know, I had taken a huge break from the game, and I traditionally played the Division 2 on PC. So I got it on PS5. It ran beautifully. Looked great, super smooth frames per second, and I was working my way through Warlords. I was able to skip. When you get the game brand new right now with everything involved, it gives you the option to like play through the vanilla campaign or just jump into the Warlords of New York DLC. So definitely need Survivor or Survival. Yeah. Has there been any new information on the Division movie? I've not seen anything, K. Billy. It needs an experience that sets it apart. Well, as far as min-maxing loot-based games, I actually think it is set apart. Many people would tell you, hey, first coffee order of the day. Polarin ordering a bag of Light Roast. There it is. Thank you, Polarin. So we got our first coffee order. Where's that first brand new member? Who's jumping in? Who wants to take advantage of the perks that we offer? We do give you increased access in the Discord. There's an AMA every Thursday where you can get a little spicy with me and get insights into what we're doing and why, and, you know, stuff we don't talk about on the public shows. And then Friday night streams with my wife are hilarious. Those are members only. You don't want to miss out on those. And if you're a tier 2, you can make my wife and I play games. We did that just last week. You can watch my wife and I play MLB The Show Home Run Derby. It's hysterical. Could finally do it since visiting family in the U.S. as Polarin. Canada shipping is rough. Oh, I believe it. I believe it, Polarin. It is in that regard, but I'm talking gameplay. Yeah, no, Eugene, I get that. There are definitely people that look at the Division 2 gameplay and they're like, nah, dude, nah. I'm shooting a guy in a hoodie with like half a clip. I'm good. I don't like that. There are people that really, really struggle with the gameplay aspect of the Division 2. The thing that sets the Division 2 apart, a wildly varied build template. You can succeed in this game with all sorts of different builds. Sven says, I just thought what happened to Ilarion. Dude used to debate in the mornings all the time. Well, that's Polarin, not Ilarion. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ilarion. I've not seen him. I feel bad if he has been here because I've not seen his comments. I'm not ignoring him. I enjoy people that come in and disagree. They're usually the best part of the show. Big O says, I haven't played since launch. The lack of endgame at launch killed it for me. I'm thinking about getting back in this season. Well, you dodged a bullet. They are having to do a recalculation of expertise. That is what we're reporting on this morning. The Division 2 expertise update is the fact that they have to recalculate everybody's expertise. So people are already reporting this morning that they've lost 1 to 2 levels. The people that are going to get hurt the worst. Apparently there was a mission called the Tombs where people were doing a kill and wipe exploit and they hit absurd levels of expertise. So, Unlucky Harry says, I feel like I started Division because the Outriders was a huge letdown. Yeah, I can see similarities between the two. Like if you're looking for a game like that, Outriders certainly fell short. Not that they necessarily set out to be an ongoing live service game. They continue to say they're not a live service game, and yet they kind of looks like a duck and walks like a duck, but is insisting that it's a goose. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think you might be a duck. If Heartland launches, it is the Division 1 survival. That would be amazing if that's what that ends up being for the people that enjoy that. If it's like an always-on PvP survival game, I don't know how much I would enjoy that, having it being always on, but 4 strongholds, 3 raids, 1 expedition. Endgame is still not where it should be, but it's better than it was, says Creature. They scratch a similar itch. They do. I think the Division and Outriders both fall into similar lanes in certain ways. I don't feel horrible about the rollback for exploiters. Yeah, me either. I've always said, listen. If you're going to be an exploit gremlin, you know, if you're going to find shortcuts and exploits and you're going to be an exploit gremlin, you know you're taking a risk. You're doing something in a way the game is not designed for. And if it doesn't work out for you, or they take it away, or they roll it back, or they say, hey, wait a minute, you know, you've got 10 different caches stowed away that you didn't really earn legitimately, and they take them away, that doesn't bother me at all. It really, really doesn't, you know. A 9-month milestone for Deadly Dad Gaming. Thank you for renewing your membership, Deadly Dad. I appreciate that very, very much. Summit's not nearly as good as Countdown, but it still has value, and it can be fun with the right difficulty and group, says Fuzzy. Creature says, I'll gladly sacrifice 2 levels to cost one of those a-holes 15. There you go. Creature just embracing violence this morning. Outriders is fun, especially with the homies. Yeah, Outriders actually is really fun after the recent update. I really want to see them update the sound design. You know, that's my biggest thing with Outriders. I'm like, can you please make the guns not sound like somebody's banging on a trash can lid? It's absolutely mind-numbing. Hey, another order of coffee. Let's go. 2 coffee orders. 3 light roasts to my man YouTube Lurker. I wish Creature could fix shipping to Detroit. I can't order 5 at a time anymore. The coffee's too good to limit this to only 3 at a time. I swear we updated that. I swear we updated it so that you could order more. We did that just recently, did we not? It was a problem with the quantity. It said we only had 2 bags left or something, and we fixed that. Creature, is it still limiting people to 5? 5. Oh, wait, you did light roast. Wait, did you do light roast or dark roast? You did. Yeah, you did light roast. Let me check on the light roast. Hang on. June 8th. No. I've said this many times. This will be corrected in the new version. Okay. And, okay, so we have June 8th is when we're wanting to launch the new version of the storefront, is what Creature's telling me. Is that how I'm understanding that? It's all fuzzy to me because I remember us having issues with people adding multiple bags. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, do me a favor. We are just 30 minutes in and having a nice strong start. We cover lots of different gaming news here, and I am safe for work. We do live streams Monday through Friday in this setting. I even have an Elden Ring show today about some soft, quiet nerfs that they did to the game. So make sure you're subscribed. Smash that like button. Let's set our sights on 200 likes. If we get 200 likes really, really quickly, that'll be really helpful to the video. If you're enjoying your time here, that is totally free. It's free to subscribe. Membership is what costs the $5 a month. So always remember, you can subscribe for free and support the show every day just by listening and hanging out. A lot of people treat me like a radio show. They throw me in the background and they kind of get their work and lurk on. A 10-month milestone from D Dizzle. Welcome back in. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. The bug causing that issue isn't worth correcting. I'm abandoning the framework causing it. Oh, okay, so there's a bug. There's a bug on the coffee orders that Creature's rebuilding a whole new storefront for us. It's going to be great, and that's why it hasn't been rectified. There we go. Sorry. Lono, amazing turnaround time on the coffee order. I was pleasantly surprised to see it get here so fast. We do ship it very, very quickly. If you order on a Monday, your label is printed that night. It's shipped the following day on Tuesday, and you can sometimes have it as early as Wednesday or Thursday. At the latest, like Friday. So early week orders are great. You'll have them same week. There's almost no coffee business in existence where you're going to get coffee that fast. And our pricing is competitive. We're right there with all of the other guys out there. So you're going to spend the same amount of money, you're going to get a superior product, and you're going to get it faster. I dare you to compare ours to others. I'm not kidding you. My wife doesn't even drink local coffee anymore. She prefers ours because I'm telling you, if you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you got to try it at least once. Just grab a bag and take the challenge. Take the balanced acidity challenge. Murph Dog says, so wait, are you saying you don't want to play a game where you sound like you're at a Stomp concert? We do ship internationally, Fluffy, but right now shipping outside of the domestic U.S. is extremely expensive. There's nothing we can do about that. That's just kind of the global situation right now. So we are happy to ship it to you. Just be fair warned, shipping does get pretty expensive the minute you're not inside the U.S. territory. Outriders will have a better build diversity once World Slayer drops. The most disappointing thing about World Slayer is they've said nothing about sound design. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when I saw the Division 2 Season 9. I was like, okay, great. I know this is something that the Division gets right. Everything sounds and feels good. There's like a crunchy, crispy feel to the game. That's how I describe it. Like your reloads, your pickup, the little sounds, the pling, and like stuff's dropping on the ground. They get all those things so right. It just feels good to be grinding in the Division, to be getting loot, to be getting kills, to be picking up materials. They get a lot of those things just right on the nose. So if you are just tuning in, we are covering the Division 2 Expertise new update. That rolls out today. They announced it yesterday, and it is recalculating everyone's expertise. This is because people were getting too high level on their expertise. Season 10 is going to happen, and they didn't want people to be on expertise level 20, and that was going to happen with some of the exploits, and XP kill, XP earn rates were what was throwing it off. So the update's live right now. You can log in. You can see how many levels you lost. We had a couple people already reporting on this and said that they lost 1 to 2 levels. People in chat are using the emotes to tell you which coffee they like the best. Zyber loving the light, and other people saying the dark. I'm on the dark this morning. I got to have the less caffeine. My blood pressure can't take the most caffeine, man. It was messing with me yesterday. Pretty sure the story previously was very nice. Let's just see if World Slayer is worth it, because it's not cheap either. Donations are the same, XP rewards are the same, but kill XP was reduced by 50%. So they're not just recalculating your expertise, okay? This Division 2 update is also lowering kill XP by 50%. That is because of that is because of the exploit that had emerged. What people were doing is they were going into a mission called the Tombs. It's a mission in New York, and there was a kill and then wipe section. If you're not familiar with what kill and wipe is, you kill enemies that are worth a lot of XP. Like, let's just say there's a real dense area with quick kills, and you get them all real fast, and then you kill your character. You basically let your character die. You quote-unquote wipe. Resets checkpoint, resets enemy, wash, rinse, repeat. So what it does is, if you think about what happens sometimes in games like this, it's kind of like an accordion. As you're playing, the accordion can come in real close like this, and it gets dense, and there's lots of enemies, and there's all this XP, and then it spreads out again, and you move through the level, and it's a little bit slower, and not quite as many enemies. Maybe the fights take a little bit longer. And then it comes back together, and it gets dense again, and then you're getting XP. Oh, wow, we got a ton of XP from that real quick fight, and then it spreads out again. What people do is they try to find those really dense, packed moments, and they try to take those really dense, packed moments, and if they can figure out a way to exploit it where they get all the XP, wipe. Get all the XP, wipe. That's why game designers have to be very much in tune with the potential of these things happening, because it does. It will throw off player balance, game balance. It will throw off player experience. When Anthem had its troubles, one of the guys behind Diablo's Loot 2.0 system took to Reddit and said what Anthem needed to do. And one of the points of his post was you need to protect the player from themselves to a certain degree. Now, I think micromanaging developers and paternalistic developers tend to turn people away. However, you have to protect players from themselves to a certain degree, because they will take the path of least resistance to a fault. Ginger Prime calls this when you maximize the fun out of a game, I believe is what is the phrase he used. I might be misquoting him, but that's the spirit of it, right? You maximize the fun out of a game. It's just as efficient as humanly possible. You run in a 10-foot circle and kill the same enemies for 9 hours, and you skip all the content and you skip all the leveling. Well, you've got to protect people from that, because number one, it's harmful. It's harmful to the player. It's harmful to the player because the player doesn't realize what they're doing, and it's almost like they can't stop, right? But it's also harmful to the game and the content, because they're thinking, okay, they sketch out like a 12-month window, and they're like, well, okay, here's the Division 2 Season 9. Okay, this releases. Then here's the Division 2 Season 10, and they need to run into each other, and there needs to be a baton pass. Well, passing the baton doesn't work very well if you've ever watched these races. If the person with the baton runs past the person that needs to grab it, they're like, hey, you ran past me. That would have been the issue if they hadn't done this rollback. People would have walked into the next season and absolutely thrown everything off. Because if you think about it, this would have spread like wildfire. It probably already was spreading like wildfire. You would have had people that were like, oh, did you guys hear about this? And then they go and do it. I mean, this is how the loot cave spread in Destiny. This is how exploits spread. I remember I would play games with my friends, and they're like, oh, my friend taught me about this thing. Come here. We'd go do this thing and be like, oh, man, look at all this XP we can get. There was a flesh stick exploit in Borderlands 2. There was a mission to kill flesh stick. And he comes out, and you heard this 100 times if you did this exploit, right? You heard this 100 times. There he is, flesh stick. You heard it 10 times, in a 10-minute period. What you would do is you would go and you would kill flesh stick. Flesh stick wasn't a very high health character, but he registered as a boss, and you'd get a ton of XP. So you'd go and you'd kill him, and then you'd basically abandon the quest, and then you'd go get the quest again, and then you'd go kill him again. So you'd kill him, abandon the quest, get the quest again, kill him, because she's basically sending you to go you can either kill him or lure him to her lair. And if you kill him, you just get a stupid amount of XP. And so people were doing that. They were just leveling like crazy at that point in time. There was also something you could do in the game that wasn't really an exploit, but you could. There was a mission for Hammerlock. Not many people knew about this one. I did this one for a little bit. Hammerlock gave you this injector, and you would inject these pods, and it would level up the enemy, so that and you were supposed to kill the enemies and pick up the stuff off the ground. Well, what you could do is you could just keep injecting the pods, and it would upgrade the enemies, and it would increase the amount of XP you would earn, and then you just not pick up the pods. Progress reset just got here. Yeah, so the Division 2 expertise new update, they are recalculating everyone's expertise. So you're going to need to log into the game. They did it just today. You will be rolled back to a certain degree. Some more than others, right? Some more than others. So some people are getting rolled back like 1 or 2 levels. Other people are going to get rolled back, yeah, I don't even know how many, maybe 10 levels or something. What's good, Zubair? People were using an exploit in the New York DLC. What's good, Christina? Starting your day right, it looks like. Yeah, they were going into New York, and they were going into the tombs, and they were doing a kill wipe exploit, and it was going to cause a bunch of problems. People were, their vision for Season 9 was that you would get to expertise level 20. And then you would go into the next season. And it looked like, according to this exploit, that people were going to get well beyond that. Now, they're not just recalculating. So this Division 2 expertise update is also lowering kill XP. So the Division 2 kill XP was contributing to expertise too much, so they've lowered it by like 50%. Yo, what's good, Baba Yaga? Thanks, everybody, for being here. If you're just tuning in, if you're a regular, go through that ritual. Make sure you're on live chat and smash that like button. Those thumbs up really help. We need 30 more to hit 200. We're off to a nice, strong start. We have an Elden Ring story today as well, and I've got some good stuff for Reforge Radio. Everybody got debated about Bloodborne. We'll be talking about that. We've also got some other updates in gaming news for Reforge Radio. Gran Turismo's ticking everybody off. V Rising can't stop, and the PlayStation games for next month have been leaked. So make sure you're hanging with us for the entire day. So they're punishing people for their mistake. Well, I mean, that is obviously one way of looking at it, but I wouldn't phrase it that way, because I think that this is a necessary thing. Like, if you want to continue playing The Division and go from Season 9 to 10, you need to be able to have that handoff work very well, and that's not going to work if people are getting beyond the expertise levels. So there was a miscalculation, and people were using an exploit that really exacerbated it. Now, you have to consider a handful of things. They are giving SHD caches as compensation to people to make up for it, so no one's necessarily being punished. However, the people that will feel it the worst, are those who exploited, right? We're 2 days away from a brand new state of play, says PlayStation. Settle in for just 30 minutes of exciting updates starting at 3 p.m. Pacific. We will be covering, right? We will be covering... Summer Game Fest is on that announcement. So there is Sony State of Play associating then with Summer Game Fest. That's really cool. We will be covering the Summer Game Fest. I'm sorry, we'll be covering Summer Game Fest, but we'll also be covering the PlayStation State of Play on Thursday. Look at the image. I see the Summer Game Fest up in the corner. Yeah. That means they're now associating with that festival. I told you Jeff Keighley was going to kill E3. I said that last week. I was like, E3 is done, and Jeff Keighley's the one that closed the coffin, man. The XP cut only affects the expertise, not your leveling. Yes. Yeah. It's specific to expertise. Hilly says, at the most simple level, you need the top tier loot in the end content, and you need drop rates at the extreme on the best loot. If you have currency, it must have extremely high limits that you can hold. Yo, good morning, Killshot. How are you? So if a player was 22 and got dropped to 17, they lost dozens or more of exotic components, which are extremely difficult to come by. Yeah, they said that there would be discrepancies between the caches that they give you and the resources that you basically lost. They did say that. They said there would be discrepancies for sure. Can't remember if I bought Division 2 or just played the demo. Yeah, I mean, I used to go to your library and see if it's there. I bought it brand new on the PlayStation 5, Christina, because it bundled with everything. Like the Ultimate Edition was like $16. This is why I quit the game at release, says DMAX Speeds. Their stance is to punish players for finding loopholes in the game. I don't agree with that outlook. Like, I 100% can sympathize and empathize with your feelings about it. You're like, this feels like I'm being punished. That sounds condescending. Your feelings about it. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, you feel your experience is that you got punished for finding like a really, really great farming route or something, right? And while I can empathize and sympathize with your feelings on it and be like, yep, that'd be a big giant bummer if I felt like I was really cruising along and they rolled a bunch of stuff back. But you have to consider the most extreme examples in this instance were people doing an exploit. They were doing something that was unintended. If you're doing a kill wipe exploit, I don't feel bad, like, at all, if you got stuff taken from you. I just don't. Like, I don't have sympathy for people that do exploits that get rolled back. I don't have sympathies for streamers that get banned for doing exploits and then lie to their community about it, right? I don't have any sympathy for that. Like, I just don't. It just, to me it seems like you should sort of know you're taking a risk if you go into a game and you do some cheesy thing to get an earn rate of items or XP that you know are not owed to you. Does that make sense? Did you cover Star Wars Fallen Order 2 trailer? Yeah, we broke that down yesterday, Toshiba. If you want to see my breakdown, we started yesterday doing that. We also did our very first reaction video yesterday. We did a reaction stream to Asmongold's Diablo Immortal pay-to-win video. It did very well. We were very pleased with how it turned out. We're going to continue to consider doing that when we think there's an appropriate video and topic that lines up with things that we cover. Obviously, I'm not just going to grab random stuff and be like, yeah, here's Doc Disrespect ranting about Call of Duty. I mean, we might if it's relevant to something that we've covered, but generally speaking, we felt very, very good about how that went and the response. The VOD performed very well. People left nice comments. It got good viewership. It got new subs. So we really think that content was received well. Here's the context, says Creature. You put on an EMP pulse. You run into a crowd of holograms this one boss puts out. You pulse them. There's 7 to 10 of them in a group. And they die. You get 2,400 XP for each one, and then you wipe. You can get expertise level in less than an hour this way, and people were doing it all day, every day. Right, if you're doing that, and they roll you back, I just don't care. I'm like, you know that's so unintended. It's so unintended. Now, I don't know if I agree with this. Ferryman says, they should punish players for using loopholes. You can avoid paying tax by using a loophole. Doesn't make it right to do. I don't agree with punishment. I don't think it should ever be punitive. Punitive would be temporarily banning you or permanently banning you, right? So I don't agree with punitive response, but I also don't agree with calling a rollback punitive. Nobody's saying your logic is wrong, says Revive Farmer. We disagree with the rejection of how we feel about punishing nature of the devs' decision to roll back gains. It's motivation breaking. Well, think about it like this, though, Revive Farmer. Let's say you didn't do the exploit and you lose 1 or 2 levels. While that feels, as you're saying, motivation breaking, try to see the silver lining. This means more content's coming. This means the devs are thinking long term, right? So that means there's just more division waiting for you, and what they're doing is an investment in that. Does that make sense? I lost 1.5 level, says Creature, and they gave me 12 SHD caches. Guys, make sure and smash the like button. We're 10 likes away from 200. I love to get 200 likes in that first hour. Thanks for the strong turnout today. If you've never been here before, I cover all sorts of gaming news. The new Jedi Survivor trailer, a reaction video to Asmongold, Diablo Immortal, Division 2. We're covering Elden Ring today. We got news on Gran Turismo making their fans even more angry again. There was a big giant Bloodborne debate. We're covering it all today, so make sure you're subscribed. Doesn't rolling you back a bit just give you more gameplay? You get to play more and to re-up your stats. A few days or a week or two and you're back to where you were. I don't understand the mad. Oh, I would be mad. Oh my gosh, I would be mad. I am not at all telling people to not be frustrated. I would be mad. No, I don't want to lose progress. Do you understand the heart attack I had once where I thought I lost like a day of progress in a game? I played. I played 2 or 3 hours. And I shut the game down, and people said there was a save game glitch that was happening, and you might lose your progress. Oh my gosh. I was terrified. That's awful. Nobody wants to go back and immediately replay what they just finished. That doesn't feel very good. That doesn't feel very good. Especially if you did all the progress solo. Yeah, like to a certain extent, Derek, try that. Like, let's take it to the microcosm. Let's break it down to the most minuscule psychological level here. Go up to a kid who stacked a bunch of blocks up and smacked the top half of their tower down and be like, what are you crying for? I've just given you the ability to do more. You can do it all over again. You can continue playing with the blocks longer than you would. He's not going to hear your reason. He's going to be screaming at you, right? Disneyland fan says, morning sunshine. Hello. Hi. I'm being flirted with over on TikTok. I'm not accustomed to this. Thank you for winking at me. Yo, it's good, Laser. Yeah, Outriders did that. Outriders wiped people's entire inventory. You know? Hey, isn't that great? You lost all your stuff. You basically get to play the game all over again. If that kid cries, it's because they're a big baby. That's so that you know what you're saying is silly. Hey, listen, you lost 3 hours of game time. Look at it from this perspective, Derek. Put yourself in the shoes of like the working dad. And he sits down on a Friday night, and him and the boys put work in. And maybe they find a farming route that's really, really good. Or maybe they're like, what's this exploit people are talking about? And maybe they try it for 20 minutes or whatever. And they're like, yeah, this isn't very fun. Let's move on. And they bump their level, and they make a bunch of progress, right? And he shows up today, and he hears me say, hey, man, there's a Division 2 expertise new update. They're rolling people back. And he loads up the game, and they basically deleted his Friday night. It's like it didn't happen, right? That's pretty annoying. It's like that. I 100% can resonate with that guy getting pretty irritated. Like, man, I had a good Friday night with the boys, man, and it's like it didn't happen. I can play once a week, you mother blanks. You know, I've been a teacher for a long time. I know when a kid's being a big baby. This guy, yeah. Good luck with that. It's not that bad. Stadia erased all the save data people had on their servers. Well, I mean, things can always be worse, right? I mean, I can come and smack the food out of your hand and be like, listen, some people don't have food. That's not going to make you happier. You know what I mean? Yeah, being canceled wasn't that bad, Lono. That's right. You get to rebuild your career all over again. It's not, Lono, getting knocked down to 1/4 of what you used to make is an opportunity to get back to those levels, you know? I sincerely can't wait for August. I'm going to laugh. My brother's going to be here in August, guys. By the way, your trip's overlapping with we got other people coming to town then. It's going to be, we don't have a clue what the frick's going to happen. It's going to be pure chaos. It just rebuild, forehead. We just tuned in. What's happening in Division? Sorry. Okay, so the Division 2 expertise update. They are rolling back and recalculating everybody's expertise. They are changing. Kill XP is staying the same for your leveling, but it's going down by 50% for expertise specifically. There was an exploit in the Tombs mission in New York where people were doing a kill wipe thing and they were getting the max expertise in like an hour or something. Maybe not an hour, but Lono and Derek Friday night stream. We'll see. It'll be fun. I've streamed with him before, you know, back before all those fond memories were removed, you know, but we'll make new ones. Losing progress sucks, but if you enjoy the game, you'll still play it. If you're mad about the game, it'll probably make you quit. I mean, I think it depends. You know, you could always play a game for 8 years and just get banned for no reason. Yeah. You just get banned for no reason. Invest 8 years in the game. Start sharing it with your wife and your kids. And, there you go. Everyone's being punished, or am I missing something? They're recalculating everyone according to the new XP Smashville. So a couple people have already reported this morning that they got lowered by 1 or 2 levels of expertise. The real big offenders are going to lose, way more than that. They're going to lose quite a bit more than that. 260 people here, but only less than half in the likes. Let's share our support and get the channel a nice quick thumbs up. Thank you, Mauve Monk. And make sure and take the poll. Let's take a look at this poll here. The Division 2 Season 9, did you jump back in or try it out brand new? Yes or no? Meaning, did you jump in? Yes or no? Did you jump in? Did you play? Yes or no? Most of you are saying no. Well, bless you for being here. You're not even playing the dadgum game and you're still supporting the show and listening. I appreciate that. Invest in a game and give great ideas when it's at its lowest point. Get banned, Galactic Brain. Yeah, man. That's right. Be the most faithful, most wholesome person that covers the game. Get canceled and banned over inappropriate jokes. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen. If any of these people never make it as streamers, which most of them aren't, most of them are complete and utter failures. But if any of these people, get removed from Bungie when Sony completely takes over, you can go work at Netflix maybe and just do a walkout every other week when someone says something you don't like. See how that goes for you professionally. Are you laughing or crying? It's getting hard to tell. It's a bit of both, Zubair. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. Oh my gosh. I learned this morning that if you love sleep, poverty waits for you. But if you keep your eyes open, you will have gain. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Trying to do it. Bigfoot Roll and Smash. What the frick game is this? Let's start the show. We're proud to announce Bigfoot Roll and Smash. The king of monster trucks is going to do a tabletop. Cool. It's $30. You can pre-order it here. It's a tabletop game. Oh, it's a literal physical tabletop game. Okay. Yeah. If you're emailing me because you want to send it to me, great. But other than that, I don't care. I'm not buying your game. We'll never, not a good choice of words when someone gave you $3.6 billion. Yeah. There'll never be a muzzle big enough. And then Sony's going to knock on the door in a couple years like, doom. About that. Here's the thing. My advice is don't get married if 50 hours of hardship makes you quit something you love. Jiminy Christmas, Ferryman. He's making it so serious. Listen, Greg, if you're going to quit a game over 50-hour reset, you better not get married. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. I'll be hopping on at lunchtime for a quick countdown run or two if anybody wants in. Vengeance says, so I'm confused. Are they just projecting that they want people to be expertise 20 from Season 9 to 10, or is there a cap? I read it as a cap. Is it not? Where the frick is the language? The expected... Okay, this is phrased very strangely, so what the frick? The expected expertise level cap for Season 9 is 20, and allowing higher levels now will have considerable impact on the long-term balance of the game. So I don't know what that means. The expected cap? What the huh? What is that? Is it a soft cap? Is it a hard cap? Do you anticipate almost nobody getting beyond that? Like, what the frick? I'm not sure what I'm judging here. His choice of games to play or his choice in who to marry. Neither should be that hard. It's strange phrasing. I'm unclear myself. Cap is 20, but people had already hit it. How? Oh, no. Hang on, creature. Hang on. According to the tweet, people were going to be able to surpass it. How are they going to be able to surpass it if it was a cap? It says the expected cap is 20, And allowing higher levels now will have considerable impact on the long-term balance of the game. So what they're doing is stopping people from going beyond the 20. You think Division 2 rollbacks are tough? Wait until you have a spouse. Wait until you have a kid who turns out to be a big baby. Yo, what's up, guys? We're Cognitive Dissonance, and this next song is called Big Baby. Wife points rebalance patch. All of your previous gestures of love and devotion have been recalculated. Oh, she sits down. She's like, so, Jeff, we need to talk about this gift recalculation. So we've reviewed the last 5 years of marriage, and we have found your anniversary presents, birthday presents, and Christmas presents to be wanting. And we have recalculated, and you're coming up short, bucko. So, before the next season of love starts, if you know what I mean, we're going to need you to pay back. We're going to need you to retroactively give me 5 years worth of gifts. Okay? All right. Thanks for coming in, buddy. We love that. We love the work you did on that press briefing for spring. It's great. All right. Lono's name is Jeff. No, it's not. No offense to Jeffs out there. Okay. No offense to Jeffs out there. But single syllable names, where's the rest of the name at? Where's the rest of it? Where is the rest of your name, Jeffrey? But if you love your job, you'll enjoy doing the work all over again. Oh, for sure. For absolutely sure, yes. Yeah, I am loving every minute of rebuilding my career. There's not a single part of it that's depressing and anxiety-inducing and cause for fear and heart palpitations and sadness and worry and anger. You know, it's just nothing but friggin' roses. You know, I love live streaming, so what an opportunity it's been. What an opportunity it has been to just keep going, baby. You better watch it, Luke. What are you saying, Lono? My name is legendary in every way. What do you mean? Your name's Charles. Even if someone shortens it to Charlie, there's at least 2 syllables there. Rebuilding the career means you get to flex on the failures twice. That's right. As they all stream to, stream smaller than football teams. You should be thankful. I'm so thankful. In all seriousness, it has been for my good. It has been for my good, and I'm a stronger, more resilient and wiser person. But did it have to be that crappy? You know what I'm saying? It's like getting to the top of a mountain and your knees are scraped and you broke your arm and it's just so horrible. And somebody comes up walking next to you and you're like, bro, there was a path over here. And I'm like, did it have to be this terrible? I love my job, but when AutoCAD crashes and I lose hours of work on a $1.3 million house because autosave didn't work, I'm not happy about doing it again. Jeftifer. Jeftifer. I love it. I just thought of llamas with hats. Carl? Llamas with hat? What on earth? At least nobody bringing up Jeff, the killer memes. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I am totally out of touch with the younger generation. I don't know what that is. Lono, you should shave your beard. No, I don't want to shave my beard. I just trimmed it, and I think it looks very nice. I don't want to shave it. As an owner of a single syllable name, I'm officially offended, but in reality, it's fine. Well, here's the thing. Whether you're offended or not, you can decide you're offended in 2 years and write a twit longer. So you can reevaluate today in 2 years because, that's the way ethics and morality work. It's just an ever-eternal moving goalpost, I still find it hilarious that the biggest of the haters are affiliates who struggle to stream past 15 viewers. Yeah, well, You don't have to worry about that. Misery is a set of train tracks, homie. It only heads in one direction, and that's down. That speaks to me. I work in AutoCAD on 20 plus million buildings. Look at this guy, Murph, flexing on you. His buildings are 20 million, Bowers. Your little $1.3 million house. Get the frick out of here, Bowers. Murph works on $20 million buildings. Suck it, Bowers. You and your piddly $1 million house. That's so dumb. Oh, that's stupid. There's usually something deep in the temp file folder. I have a more $billion house. Yeah, mine's more billions than your billions. I've decided I found TV Day offensive, and I'm preparing the conspiracy. I'm talking to my friends about my feelings. Oh, man. Oh, Zuby, that was good. That was a good one. I'm the guy that sells the stuff you guys design on AutoCAD. I let you guys do the hard work. Yeah. How far up can the one-up go? I think the highest echelon here would be, I'm the guy that bought the $20 million building. Like, that would be, if that guy walked into chat, you know what I'm saying? He's the king of the one-up. If you're just tuning in, we've been discussing the Division 2 Expertise new update. They are recalculating everyone's expertise. When you load the game today, you will have a different level of expertise. The XP on kills, specific to expertise, not your level, but just expertise, has been adjusted down by 50%. You have been recalculated. There was an exploit. The expected expertise cap for Season 9 is 20, and they're doing this for next season, essentially. People cry about $70 games, but $1 million building ain't nothing. That's right. I just sell the Rageless crack blend. To be fair, I do enjoy when people show and take us on their work so we can see behind the scenes. Do you guys want to see behind the scenes with what I do? Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a speakerphone call with Creature with lots of swearing and irritation. It's phenomenal, you know. Multiple times just considering quitting. It's great. It's wonderful. It's a great look behind. Great look behind the scenes. Some fetal position crying, you know. Just your usual conference call, you know, banter. You know, the things you'd expect to hear. I got your one up. I transport between $40 and $60 million a week. Well, I mean, there's other ways to tell us that you're a drug lord. I don't know if that was the way, but there you go. You tell us everything. There's no mystery here. Yeah, you know. You guys know about it all. It's basically the Steam, but it's not safe for work. Listen, if you want to see behind the scenes and you want to ask me questions, become a member for $5 a month. We do an AMA every week. There you go. And then you can watch my wife rip me up to shreds on a Friday night stream. If you're already a Tier 1 member, you can upgrade to Tier 2, and you can make us play a game on Friday night. That was really fun last week. Listen, if you're a Tier 2 member or above, we need more games submitted in that room. We've got enough for this coming week, but there's a lot of you at Tier 2 that aren't cashing in on that benefit, all right? Tier 2 and above, all right? So wherever you are at Tier 2 or up, you can use that room. Lono has to deal with Madam and Creature. Sounds rough. Yeah, they would view it the other way around. They would view it as that it takes a village to keep me under control. So that's how they would view it. I wasn't ready for that. I drive an armored truck. Oh, you drive an armored truck. Well, I mean, so you work for the bank, right? Drug lord, banks. I mean, one's just legal. One just has the government trapped by inexhaustible debt. You know, the other can be arrested. So it's not a lot of difference between the two. A lot of shower floor crying. That's right. You should play Nickelodeon All-Stars with your wife next. Listen. Tier 2. That's up to Tier 2s. You can't just throw that out there. A Tier 2 member's got to throw that in the Discord, into the Madam Game Votes room. By the way, Lono, you got to see the Top Gun in the theater if there's any way you can swing it. It's the return of the classic Tom Cruise blockbuster. I mean, the reviews are insane, so I kind of want to see it. In all seriousness, we need a book or a documentary, The Rise and Fall of Lono, the story of reforging SNTR. Oh, no. You care. but nobody else does, bro. Listen, if we get to where we want to go, maybe people will care. They're like, my gosh, how they do that. Give us a couple years. It took us 5 years to get where we were then, and we've only been doing this for 2. So, how much for second tier membership? It's $15 a month. 15. So tier 1's just $5. Tier 1's $5. It gets you into all the members only stuff. It gets you into the Discord. 15 is for all the enhanced stuff. Can I ask AMA questions before the stream? I mean, you can. I've said before, you members can use the question command if you want to bank questions for Thursday if you can't be here. Just ! question. And then type your question and it'll be on the form, and I always double check that form on Thursdays. We need one akin to the VH1's Behind the Music. Everyone loves a comeback story with some drama. These days everyone likes all the craziness with streamers. Yeah, maybe. He was a Twitch streamer until he wasn't. Disagree. We do care about a Lono movie. Give us a pool. Well, no, I'll put all your names on little things for my pool, but then I won't do it. I'll do a calendar shoot for charity, but then I won't do it. I'll cut my hair for charity, but then I won't do it. Anyway, yeah, I still need to see that one, Doomslayer. I still need to see it. Are you streaming the Sony State of Play? We will be streaming the Sony State of Play. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We will be doing that. That's Thursday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're just tuning in and you're like, yo, what's the Division 2 expertise update? They're recalculating you, so you need to boot up the game and see what they did. People were getting too high on expertise. The Division 2 Season 9 expertise cap is expected to be around 20, and people were going to get past that, which they said was going to cause considerable harm to the future of the game and the future content. All right, have a great day. Thank you, Ratchet. Bloodborne 2 Elden Edition. Oh, man. Did you see that? Did you see that leak, Eugene? It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh, that idiot. That total idiot got Bloodborne single-handedly trending on Twitter. I hated him for it. I absolutely hated him for it. Oh, my gosh. It takes 500 of us members to keep you reined in. What? No. You guys don't rein me in. You don't rein me in. No. Creature and my wife, I think, managed to do that. You guys stoke the fires. I'm well aware. The only thing keeping Morbius alive is Morbius memes. I love it. I've not even seen it. And I love a good, like, everybody sort of bash on a movie thing. I think it's funny. Did you see when Purple told streamers they couldn't mention Dr. Disrespect when they were participating in a tournament? Well, it wasn't that Purple said it. It was that the official people running the event told everybody involved not to, because Purple would have taken issue with it. So it wasn't officially written up by Purple, but the people running the event were like, we better make sure and do this, because if not, you guys are all going to get shut down. So the pettiness is so high over there, bro. It's so high. I'm sure they're fine though internally. I'm sure they're functionally sound. I think people just do that as a reminder of how popular it would be. That's what somebody said. They were like, how much more proof do you need that a Bloodborne remaster would make a boatload of cash? Just a leak. Just a fake out leak and the thing trends. My gosh. I only want to see Morbius now because of the memes. There's some godlike subversive marketing. Oh, yeah. I said the same thing. I was like, I really want to see it now. I want to see how bad this is. I saw a meme this morning and someone was like, their window of their car was broken. And they're like, guys, I'm just letting everybody know there were 2 tickets in my car to Morbius. And then someone did this and now there's 4. And it's... it got a wry chuckle out of me. A wry chuckle. I have something in my eye. It is driving me crazy. Oh, my word. So do you think Hurd or Depp wins out today? I don't know. We haven't really talked much about it. I hope he wins, no matter what he wins, because men like him everywhere have won. Seriously, men like him everywhere have won, because more and more people have seen the face. They've seen the face of a liar, and that's really important. Whatever it is, you deserve it for a wry chuckle. It's called an eyeball? No, that's not what's in my eye. The eyeball's there. Something else is there. You don't need to go further. Look at the new Demon Souls, and now everybody's excited for the OG Demon Souls coming back to the PlayStation service. My sister spent an hour to me talking about the trial. I had no idea it was so bonkers. Okay, so I scrolled through Asmongold's videos to see what else he was covering. He has like 5 videos from 1 to 2 million views just reacting to stuff happening. I'm like, oh my gosh. People are like infatuated. You know what I mean? The internet may explode. They don't understand the nature of the suit. Yeah, I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins. And that's actually, you know what I'm saying? 1 minute on this. 1 minute on this. Him not winning will actually be better for him. It will. Because it will absolutely stoke the public fires even hotter. It will. Deep down, it'd be better for her if she lost. Because the fires would die real quick. People are like, yay! And then like a week later, they'd be worried about something else. Seriously, the public would move on. The public would move on way faster. So that's my 1 minute thought on it. Is he loses, he wins. Because the public's going to lose their freaking minds. And the fires will burn hotter for longer. From what I've heard, he's proven actual malice. Again, it was a second hand. If that's, oh man. I'm pleased either way. Because if you think she's a rarity, you don't gotta look very far. All you gotta do is find all the women defending her. What she did was she did. Okay. It's good to know where all the psychos are. I just posted some hot Bloodborne news in the gaming channel Discord. I swear to frick, if I go click on this and it's a Rickroll, I'm gonna ban you. Where is it? Gaming news. Okay, it's not a Rickroll. You know, I put that in the Discord yesterday. It's pretty funny, Lido. Lido's like scrambling to delete it. He's like, oh my gosh. No. As long as it's not a Rickroll. If it would have been a Rickroll, I'd have banned you forever. Banning stream. That's right. You frickin' you. Yeah, she made that mistake, detective. That's exactly right. So if you're just tuning in, we're not talking, I'm not covering Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We had a channel where we could have covered it exhaustively and we probably would have made bank, but it would have been ultimately bad for the brand long term. We diverted Reforge Radio back to gaming only, so make sure you guys are coming with us in the afternoons to Reforge Radio. It's now a news rundown. So this channel is topic-driven and gameplay. That's the two things you're going to get here, is topic-driven, gameplay, and live events when they happen, like State of Play on Thursday. But Reforge Radio, every day you get the rundown. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Gaming news, 4 stories, sometimes a little bit more than that, 5. And then every Friday, we do the Reforge Roundtable. So make sure you're subscribed to Reforge Radio. Make sure you hang out with me the entire day. This is not our only story today. The Division 2 Expertise new update, they're rolling you back, okay? They recalculated your expertise. So you're going to have to log in and check what they did, but this is for the longevity of the game. So it's bad news mixed with good news. Like, they're fully invested in the longevity of the Division 2, or they would have just left this alone. Then we'll be covering a ghost nerf, a very quiet nerf in Elden Ring. Can we please stop talking about the muffins? Your thoughts on reaction drama with Dark Viper and Purple Reactors? I don't know what happened there. We did our very first reaction video yesterday. I reacted to an Asmongold video, and the response was very good. We got some new subs. We got nice comments. It did very well as a VOD. I think it's continuing to perform well as a VOD, and we really appreciated you guys supporting that. We think about once a week, maybe twice a week, we could do something like that if it's relevant. Okay, if it's relevant, and beyond that. We think it could be really, really good content. Yeah, the Asmongold video is just still going. It got over 1,000 views when we weren't even live, and people seem to be enjoying it. The like ratio is good. The comments are good. So we appreciate you guys supporting that. So yeah, we're going to be getting into a little bit into Reforge Reacts. You know, let's do that every once in a while if we feel like it's good and relevant. But I don't know what you're talking about with drama. I don't even know who Dark Viper is. How you break down info makes you a perfect candidate for proper reaction and response videos. I appreciate that, Mayday. I appreciate that. I don't think so, Z-Bear. I feel like you didn't improve all the elements. You have to start with the article, which you hadn't read. He's not named. All says he's 5. That's it. Objection. Hearsay. Lawyers. You have to. You guys are gonna make it really. I have a deep-seated vested interest in that case and her public destruction. Like, there's a part of my soul that's invested. We can't go there because you know what it'll do. You know what it'll do to me. We can't go there today. Okay, I'm so invested. Her destruction is their destruction at some level. So we can't go there. I would spend all day just little confetti tosses in the air. So Lono, the Division 2 YouTube space is populated by cringy crybabies. Oof. The more I think of it, the more I think you covering the game is a good thing. It needs more balanced and nuanced convo. Yeah, I saw you this morning, Fuzzy. You didn't think I should cover this. Did you think I was going to go negative? Were you worried about me going negative? Come on. The drama is basically big creators earn money on small creators. That's not true. Ask any small creator that Asmongold has reacted to what it did for them. Come on. Do research. People need to do research. I just think that I don't know. I think the small creator, big creator dichotomy, do you know what it is? So much of it is that the game over there especially is rigged, and they project malice onto the big guys, which is stupid. Like, fundamentally, that platform is rigged, and it's run by corrupt individuals. There's background deals, there's favoritism, there's nepotism, there's all kind of nonsense that happens on that platform, okay? But when you project that onto the really big, successful streamers, you're making just a fundamental mistake. You know, you're making a fundamental mistake. Not worried about you going negative at all. Just did not really think this convo needed to happen, as it is a non-story, but you bring a balance to it, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I prove to you, Fuzzy, that when I cover something, I'm gonna attempt to do that, right? I'm gonna attempt to bring the balance, the sensible calm, you know, the voice crying out for wisdom in the streets, you know. I'm attempting to embody that in my own life as well as in my coverage. If you're just tuning in, it looks like we're having some people tune in right now. Division 2 expertise, new update. That's what we're covering. We've been streaming for about an hour and a half. They are recalculating your expertise, okay? You're going to be lower than you were yesterday when you load up the game. If you've been playing the game fair and square, it won't be by much. There was an exploit in a mission called The Tombs in the Division 2 New York DLC, and they were doing a kill wipe exploit, and they were hitting really, really high levels of expertise. The anticipated expertise cap for the Division 2 Season 9 is 20, and people are going to get well past that. So they had to do this. So the bad news is you're going to load up the game, you're going to be lower than you were yesterday, okay? But the good news is this means they're invested in the future of the game. The duration of this year must be important for them to do this, right? It's live. Did I say anything to indicate it wasn't live? Why are you guys saying that as if I'd said it was? I don't understand. Fable's been downscaled due to engine troubles. That's not surprising since they're building it in the Forza engine, and the Forza engine traditionally is not built for games like that, so they're probably encountering snags and challenges that maybe they weren't anticipating running into, you know? Still stuck on the quiet nerf thing. They didn't tell us about it, Baba Yaga. They didn't tell us about it. Boss mechanics and fights have changed in that game, and they didn't announce it. That's a quiet nerf. If I quietly turn down something and make it weaker and I don't tell you about it, that's often referred to as a ghost nerf or a ghost buff. Quick question. A lot of streamers say it makes them anxious when people enter or leave the chat, so they stop looking. You do seem to be the exact opposite. It doesn't seem to bother you at all. No, you can't let it bother you. Yeah, stealth nerf or ghost nerf. You can't let it bother you, Drexen, because it would be like going surfing and letting like the ebb and flow of the tide bother you. That just simply is what it is to go out into the water. So the up and down of viewership, that just is what it is. Now, if there's a big glitch and a big drop, I draw attention to it to let people know, oh my gosh, that's not me. I'm fine. It's YouTube. Please refresh. I do that for PR purposes. I don't want people to think I'm sitting here streaming on some crummy like telephone rig or something where they're like, gosh, this guy could barely stream. It's like, no, it's YouTube. So I only draw attention to it if there's something happening. Like we refer to it as a blip. When we refer to blips, that's what we're talking about. So might as well go with the flow. The other reason you monitor viewership is when there's a viewership spike, you can say things like, hey, if you're just tuning in, this is what we're covering. So when I see us go up by 10 or 20 viewers, I do that. Why? Well, the new viewer's like, well, that was awfully nice. It was like a handshake. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and the owner's at the front and he either shakes your hand or says, welcome. If you need anything, let me know. Like, it just is a very nice, it makes you feel better. You're like, oh man, that was very polite. You walk into a restaurant and the hostess isn't even looking at you. You're like, hi, can we get a table? You know? So that's what I shoot for that regularly. Interaction is the it's the kite, man. You got to put that kite out there. You want lightning to strike, you want people to care, you want people to come back, you got to keep saying it, you got to keep doing that. You got to throw it out there and hope lightning strikes. Hope somebody thinks, well, that guy's pretty polite and nice and super interactive. He never shuts up. It's like a radio show. I'm going to sub to this channel and come back tomorrow. I never had the privilege of meeting Ronald McDonald. Bad person. This guy just informed me about his work's content like I can't read. What? I don't surf. I'd feel some kind of way if a shark started doing some wild crap in my living room. So I don't do wild crap in theirs. Oh, yeah, you don't surf. Yeah. You know, shark attacks actually increased because of shark tourism, right? It's another story. Shark attacks! They're so stinking rare, but they increase because of shark tourism, because the sharks are like, oh, hey, boats and people, they're not that scary. Let's check out what's going on over here in these shallow waters. It's pretty much how it goes. My biggest pet peeve at a restaurant is not being acknowledged by staff. I'll leave if they ignore me. Oh, yeah. One of our favorite places to go. The owner's always walking around. He's always checking on people. The staff is amazing. That's why we go back. Pretty sure people will complain one way or another. I don't think so. Yeah, we just had a little bump in viewership. So, yeah, if you're new, that's what we're talking about. The Division 2 expertise update. And if you got questions about it, we're happy to answer you. What they did, why they did it. It's in the game right now. Load up the game. I beg him not to look. Creature begs me to not do something I've done for 7 frickin' years. It just is impossible. Now, I shouldn't look at total view. Total view counts what bothers me. I'm sorry, I should be clearer. Concurrent viewers right now, 318 people. I look at that for barometer, for spikes, and for reaction. To be like, hey, welcome in, right? Total view right now is like, $1.5 grand, which if I look at that and it's really low, like we haven't gotten a lot of new views or new people or whatever, that's when I get like, bleh. And I'm trying not to do that. Trying to have the long view of reality, right? The long view of reality. If you can have that long view of reality, then the little moments are attached to the biggest moment. Like your existence is bigger than today. And if you can see that, then today it's not your undoing, right? It's also not where success is. Success is not found in a single day, and neither is failure. So you have to have that long view, which is really hard to do. Like yesterday, I was like, man, we knew numbers were going to be low, and it turned out to be okay. And if they were low, they were low, You just got to take it. I always tip generously as well, and I'm not a hard customer to please. Just be pleasant, keep my drink full. That's right. Like I said before, you tell us everything. That's right. That's right. Listen, I think that's the key. I don't think maintaining a veil is healthy. I don't think it's healthy for me. Now, I'm not going to say that about all content creators, but I can't maintain the veil. It's not healthy for me in the life that I've lived. So I'm Creature doesn't like how transparent I am, but I have to be. It's a personal thing. It's a personal spiritual thing for me. Like I can't put up a veil. I did it for too long, and if that veil slips back up, we're in danger. How's everyone's Memorial Weekend? Oh man, it's freaking beautiful weather. We did like a picnic with friends, and we did a picnic with our church. It was wonderful. They did free snow cones. They paid this truck to come and do free snow cones. It was so good. I did like ninja cherry and cotton candy, and I'm not even like a real sweets-oriented guy. It was wonderful. It's perfect weather. We were in the shade. The kids were playing and, throwing frisbees and kicking a soccer ball. It was one of those moments where I try to be like this, because you get like this, you're almost like down in the moment of, am I making impressions during this conversation, or who can I talk? I try to be like up of like, this is such a great moment, I don't know. I try to be aware of those things. Laughter and mirth in the home right now. Our kids, we just laugh a lot. It's wonderful. It really is. Money is terrible right now, but it doesn't touch the mirth and the joy, which is weird. It's weird, but I don't know. You got to rise above it. Restaurants in Korea are great. Waitstaff just leaves you totally alone, and you just call out or push a doorbell button when you need anything. It's so much nicer. I actually would love that, because sometimes like my drink gets down to here, and I know the food is coming, and then the food comes, and if it's not my waiter, they have like a different person bring your food. So you can't be like, oh, I need another one. So then you got to wait for them to come. But it'd be great if I could push that button. So I've mastered the art of like draining it. So then they come back around and I'm like, yeah, I need another one. So then I have a fresh one for when the food comes. There's like an art form to that, because they're busy. It's not their fault, right? They're roaming the restaurant. They got other people they're waiting on. Seems to be the culture in a lot of European cultures I've visited as well. If you need something, you just call them over. Yeah. Saturday was awesome, says MacMan. Sunday was all rainy, and Monday was severe thunderstorms. We had bad storms and rain 2 weekends in a row, so when Memorial Day weekend showed up, it was nice, because we got married on Memorial Day weekend. We just celebrated 15 years. Huge milestone, 15 years. And it was great just to have a nice weekend, great weather. And we met... We've lost our babysitter for the summer, which was just devastating. We didn't get to go out to eat for our anniversary. And we found somebody else who's looking for babysitting work. So we're like, yes. So we're very excited. I just asked the other person. They will either do it or let the other staff know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird. I like to let them drop the food off and go, Get a chance to watch any Stranger Things season 4 yet? Yes. Ooh, we can't talk about it. I was a little uneasy. See, episode 1, I was like, what is this? It's kind of like stretching old muscles. And you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then episode 2, I was like, okay, Okay. 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 Season 3. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's back. The show is back at its best. That's been my experience with Stranger Things. That's how far I am. So if you start the latest season and you feel the same way that I'm feeling, press on. Press on. It's episode 1 was stiff. It was kind of like, Episode 1 was a little stiff. But buddy, they get moving. They get moving. Keep going. Just keep watching. I'm about to put slow mode on. We're having a good day, and I'm expressing happiness and mirth. So, he doesn't like that. Not one bit. All right, there we go. Don't worry about slow mode. It doesn't do anything to you. It just prevents the bots from spamming. I'll say I'm in the minority when I say this. I've never watched a single episode. It hasn't really interested me. I don't think it's for everybody, but I think season 1 is perfection. I just think it's absolutely immaculately done. It's immaculately done. Very creative. Very creative. You bought Division 2 for like $6? Oh, yeah. Right now is a great time to get in. 7 seconds is rough. I wish I could just increase your character limit, Eugene. They need to let me set that, because I would set it to like 400 and it would eliminate some of those problems. The first half of Season 3 was so boring. Glad that 4 is kicking off in a higher gear. I feel like 4 is getting back to what made the first season so great. I don't know. They're just getting it right. Season 1 was I feel like Season 1 was flawless. Season 2 is kind of because she like goes off and she's with those people. Season 3, I thought Season 3 was totally fine. I didn't have any memory of disliking it. And Season 4, it was like slow, okay. And then I heard Episode 4 gets incredible. So I actually like Season 3. I'm one of the few people that liked it. A lot of people bashed Season 3. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it. We're kind of talking Stranger Things and The Weekend and other stuff because we've kind of gone. There's not much else to say about this. The Destiny 2 Expertise new update. They're rolling you back a little bit. You're going to have to boot up today and see where you landed. They're recalculating everybody's expertise. If you've got questions on why they did it or how they're doing it, you can ask us in chat. We'll answer your questions. We've been covering it for about an hour and a half now. Too many characters? I don't care about that. Division 2? Did I say Destiny 2? No. The Division 2. The Division 2 Expertise new update. That's the no drag zone. That's right. It was a Freudian slip. I mean, I covered the game for almost a decade. That'll happen. You mean slow mode prevents Zubair and Abe from spamming you? The struggle is real. That's right. Same game. Yeah, they're basically the exact same game. So what difference does it make? Except in one, I'm not banned, and they don't have, community managers with the maturity of children. But other than that, they're basically the same game. Now we're going to have Game of Thrones issue when the series was phenomenal up until later. I don't think so. Nope. No, that's not going to happen. Not on my watch. I mean, I'm just watching it, so I can't really do anything. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we got time. Let me do this. I don't have politically motivated propaganda in my feed from one of them. Yeah. Oh, boy. All right, let's see here. Elden Ring nerfed bosses quietly. Yeah. Okay. Got to schedule the next one. Elden Ring. Okay. And this goes in gaming news and the Elden Ring news playlist, Try to organize things with playlists, guys. Creature is slowly turning me into a YouTuber. It'll probably take him a decade. He'll lose a couple years of his life if he probably already has. But eventually, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. by Jove, I'm gonna be a YouTuber one day if I just keep at it. Do work real good. Do hard work. Say my words good. There we go. Everyone loves a good Rickroll. I actually don't. I mean, I do, and I don't. I love a really creative Rickroll. The one the other day was like, don't turn your phone to the side or whatever. I knew what it was, so it didn't trick me. I knew what it was because Light Leap was the one that did it, and I was like, oh, I know what this is, but I want to see how they did it. Does that make sense? Am I the only one that does that? It's like I know what you're doing, but I want to kind of follow this to its end result. One's guaranteed to be a big letdown. It actually just avoids being total crap. It'll be a win. I think it's off to a great start, actually. No spoilers, but they do a recap at the beginning that you must watch because they somehow managed to make the prequels look amazing, which is like, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic wand they waved. I'm sitting next to my wife. I'm like, how did they do this? How? They made episodes 1 through 3 actually look incredible. So I think it's good. It does have some cheese. It has some absolute cheese in it. Anytime you have kids in your shows, it's real risky. And there's some stuff with one of the kids. But I can get around it. You'll be a full YouTuber once you start getting paid to do live ad reads and you do like 4 of them back to back to back to back. Yeah. They're good when you stop nerd analyzing them? No, they're not. No. I've seen just straight up movie critics that don't nerd analyze them, that just utterly destroy them. That's just simply false. There's too many thoughtful, very intelligent film critics that have just demolished those movies to maintain that position. It's just an untenable position. Good morning from Brazil. Who are you? Who you are? I am me, and you are you. And we're doing a talk show. Primarily, we do the talk show on YouTube, but we simulcast on TikTok. Movie critics destroy everything? No, they don't. Did they destroy No Country for Old Men? Did they destroy Top Gun Maverick? Did they destroy Citizen Kane? Did they destroy Casablanca? What are you talking about? There's an art to critiquing films. There's an art to making films. And those movies are justifiably just destroyed for the stupidity in them. Horrible writing, horrible pacing, bad acting. No. You can't get out from under the monsoon of criticism that those movies get outside of nerding out and be like, but they're still good. No, they're crap. I take audience review into account much more than movie critics. I do the same thing. But that with those movies, you can't necessarily do that. Imagine they remade your favorite. Let's do the math here. So it'd have to be the 80s, 30 years from there. So 30 years after the Lord of the Rings releases, they decide, I don't know, remake them or something, and they're freaking terrible. And they change everything, and Frodo's a woman, and Gandalf is I don't even know, a dragon, and you're like, what the frick happened to this? And you are like, this is terrible. And they make all these terrible decisions as a director and a writer and screenplay and adaptation, all that's so bad. But there's this new swath of people that have no freaking clue about any of that. And they're like, they're good movies. Like, I don't care about that. Just because you convince a bunch of children that they were good movies doesn't prove anything to me. Watch the decade-old Red Letter Media breakdown of the prequels. It's hours of sophisticated dissection of those movies. That's what I'm saying. They're not defensible. You're free to like them, but don't sit here and be like, they're actually not that bad when you stop being a Star Wars nerd. Like, what the frick? No. They're coming for Lord of the Rings, by the way. I can't tell if it's PR or not. All those people that are getting pre-screenings and are saying, oh, it blew me away, it blew me away. Yeah, how much do they pay you to frickin' say that after all the PR they've had? I'm not convinced yet. I won't be convinced till I watch the show. Long-term purple streamers, it doesn't help small creators on YouTube. That's what the video was on, and fair use. Okay, so Skippy, they're saying long-term purple streamers, it doesn't help small creators on YouTube. That's what the video was on. Purple streamer watching videos in full. Oh, right. Yeah, that's different, isn't it? That's different. See, what that is that's millionaires taking money and not putting it back into our economy, which is, you know, what's killing it. Same idea. They're taking from an ecosystem on YouTube, benefiting from it over on Purple, and it doesn't funnel back into YouTube because you're taking it to a different platform and audience, and it doesn't turn into that. Now, for some people it works because Asmongold does it, and then he kicks the video over to YouTube, and the video does great on YouTube, and then that person gets a ton of support. Right? So that works. Asmongold does it better because he does it for his live streaming audience, then his editor chops it, sends it over to YouTube. It does great over there as well, and then that feeds that ecosystem. Why? Because that's what the YouTube audience does. They're like, oh, well, let's go support that guy. Let's go watch that guy's video. Purple reaction's not a problem. The problem is them uploading that reaction to YouTube. But they should do that. Are you saying that they're... Clarify that for me, Potato, because that's what Asmongold does, and it helps the person on YouTube because he has a successful YouTube channel. Are they just... Because if they're just watching it on Purple, golly, I don't know how they would do it. I don't know how they would do it. Because as long as it's derivative, YouTube would need to strike that down and say, hey, no, and then that would get real sketch. Because then any live event that's exclusive to Purple, nobody could co-stream it on YouTube. That would turn into like a, you know, a platform Cold War. It's the kind of system that can and is abused, and it takes the person doing it, like Asmongold, to do their best to push the growth and money back to the original creator in good faith. Yeah, because he's not a skeezy slime ball like so many of the people on Purple are. It's just such an awful platform. It's just so nasty now. People watching full movies and TV shows, their biggest streamers just thumbing their nose at the law and the rules. That platform is a freaking joke at this point. No, algorithm will recommend you reaction, not original, because it has more views. Then it will recommend you Asmongold because it thinks you want that. I mean, with respect, I think some people commentating on this might be a little ignorant, because I know recently Ludwig and some other people have pushed back and have been like, reaction content's huge, it's popular, and you should be doing it. And it promotes the original video. Like, Asmongold does it, and go look at the original videos. It actually helps that YouTuber. It does. And then, if that YouTuber capitalizes, let's say I made a video about Diablo Immortal, and Asmongold reacted to it, and then that video blows up and gets a ton of views. Guess what? All of his subscribers that checked me out for like a week, they're gonna see my vids. So if I'm doing my work and I'm doing my job and I'm putting on a great show, some of them might be like, I'm coming here. This isn't bad at all. Asmongold doesn't stream all the time. I'm gonna watch this guy when he's live. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can 100% capitalize on it. And if somebody reacts to your video, it can be very, very good for you. Why would I watch your video if I saw it on Asmongold? Well, because that's the point, isn't it? He's saying, make sure support it, go watch it. And there are people that do that because they think it's the decent thing to do, because Asmongold tells them to. Those videos have huge spikes in viewership. And do you want to know what that does? When you have a video that suddenly gets spun up like a top, YouTube grabs that and says, whoa, this video's hot, whoop, and it throws it in suggest, whoop, and it throws it into search, it's hurting the original creator long term. How? Make a substantive case how it's hurting the original creator long term. How? The only way that you could say it hurts the original creator long term is if somebody sits there and takes, like, let's take a 20-minute skill up video. We watch the review in its entirety, and I say virtually nothing. So you can consume his entire video within mine. Okay, that's the problem with reaction content. If there are people doing that, then yes. However, if I'm reacting to a skill up video on YouTube, I'm pausing it, interrupting, talking with the audience, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I tell you guys to go support the video, go watch the video, plenty of people will do that. Plenty of people will watch my video and 5 minutes in be like, this guy won't shut the frick up, and they'll go to Skill Up's video. The issue is they're yanking it off of YouTube, doing it on purple, and if they don't kick it back over here, and if they don't encourage their audience to go watch the original, then that's not helping that person. How much is plenty? See, you're presuming that all the people that watched me do my reaction video yesterday, Potato, you're presuming that all of them would have watched Asmongold on their own. So that's a bad presumption. So if I suddenly put that skill up video in front of you, you may have never watched it on your own. So I'm not taking views from him. I'm potentially adding to the views that he's going to get. As an example, the video that Asmongold just reacted to, that guy was not going to get watched by a large portion of Asmongold's audience who are now checking him out. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't presume that, like, everybody that watched Asmongold react would have watched that guy's video. Like, yeah, you just took views from him. A couple of creators came out and said, for example, Moist Critical reacting to their video gave them just 100 likes. That's on Moist Critical to do the due diligence to say, guys, go support the video, go watch the video, give the video love. Asmongold's very good to do that. It's linked below. It's linked in his stream. He tells everybody, go give this thing love. It's on the person reacting to do that, to, like, get the thing some love. You're presuming that people who watched it will go watch and support. I didn't say that they will. I said some of them will. And it's evidenced in the people that get reacted to by Asmongold suddenly having a video churn up tons of views. You think that guy with 5,000 subscribers is getting a 30,000 viewed video on the regular? No, his views got to 30,000 because Asmongold reacted to his video. There's no imperative on Moist, that's the issue. That's right, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to do that. As long as it's derivative and it's a new piece of content, Moist Critical doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to point anybody to the video. Just because one person does it the right way doesn't necessarily justify the content. The content doesn't need to be justified. It plays by the rules. It plays by the rules. Asmongold reacting to Captain Grimm, who creates WoW movies. Then I went and watched Grimm's videos because I'd heard about it from Asmongold. As a creator, if you borrow react to a video from another creator, you have a professional courtesy to send your viewers, at the very least, recommend that they come and visit the other creator. Here's the problem I have with this. There's too many presumptions. It's presumptions all the way down. It really, really is. Number one, you're presuming that there is a net loss on the video because some big guy shows it off, okay? Number one, I would kill for that. I would absolutely kill for that. I would. You want to react to one of my videos? You go for it. Call me dumb. Say I have a giant forehead. I don't freaking care. Throw my content in front of your audience. Why? Because the way that people consume content, there is a mathematical improbability that somebody watching Moist Critical or Asmongold is also watching my content. It's mathematically improbable. So all it's doing is giving me a potential to land in front of more people. You're just increasing the odds that I get a click from somebody. That's all you're doing. You're not taking away from my videos, like, total views. If I spend 3 hours making some really, really funny little skit video and one of those guys reacts to it, you're not taking views away from me. See, this is exactly why, man, oh man, that purple platform They literally bred this over-competitive, whiny, entitled attitude. I'm telling you, they did. They bred this. Because if you remember, when they were advertising Ninja's New Year's Eve special, I absolutely shredded the people doing that. I was like, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing. You've got a guy that's been on Jimmy Fallon, and he's going to have a New Year's Eve special. Do you have any idea how good that is for your platform? And you're too worried. You have this microcosmic, over-competitive, covetous view of streaming. You just can't take it. You're like, no, that's taking away views from me. No, it's not. And even if it does it in a vacuum, it doesn't do it long-term. It benefits you. When people were crying and whining about that, what did I say? Don't be surprised if this guy leaves the platform. And if Mixer wouldn't have gone belly up, he wouldn't be on purple. He left. What reason did he have to stay? Bunch of unappreciative, whiny, backbiting, terrible streamers. Ain't taking my views. Shut the frick up. Small-brained, narrow view, short-term, no planning, no foresight, no talent. That's what that platform is full of. Just absolutely petulant children. This is why people think that. You would never ever find me complaining about somebody watching my content on their stream. I wouldn't care an ounce. You watch me as many times as you want, bro. If Tim the Tatman spun up one of my videos, do you have any idea what that would do for me? People just have such a small view. Do you want to know why it doesn't benefit them? Probably because their content sucks. Probably because their content sucks. You had a one-off video or a hot take or some funny clip that got watched and it didn't benefit you because you don't have good content, would be my guess. Again, the stream is not the problem. When Jinx did this years ago on YouTube, there was a whole drama and everybody called him out for just reacting to whole videos. Right. Now that's where I will agree with you, Potato. I will agree with you. If it is tantamount to just re-uploading the content, I have a severe problem with that. I do. I think YouTube should have a better way of saying this was not derivative enough. You just sat there. You just said, like when people were watching TV shows on Purple and acting like it was derivative. No, it's not. If you're going to make new content, make new content. Like, nobody could accuse me yesterday of it not being derivative content. It was a 2-hour-long stream. We took an hour to watch 19 minutes. That's an entirely new piece of content. It's entirely new. Periodically letting Asmongold and this other guy talk. That was 100% the way that it's supposed to be done. So the fact that people do it in the most skeezy, bottom-feeding kind of way doesn't make reaction content wrong. To the same degree that someone does the right thing like Asmongold or how we did it, doesn't make it automatically right, bottom-feeding scumbags don't automatically make it bad either. How would you construct a test for whether content is derivative enough? It'd have to be mathematical. How long is the video? How much of the video played without interruption? How much of your contribution was added to the video? You'd have to put it through an algorithm. 20-minute video, you played 15 minutes before you said anything. That's not derivative. That's not new content. No, you played 75. What is that? Is that 75? 75? Sorry. You played 75% of the video and you didn't say anything? Like, you know what I'm saying? There should be a mathematical test for derivative. Like, well, what did you do? What did you say? How much did you say? How long is the video? That's interesting. I had no idea you'd go so bright line. I don't understand that expression. You used that the other day, and I didn't have time to ask you. What is that? What's bright line? Is that referring to like a rigid rule? It's easier than that, but harder to identify. Did you change the POV of the content, yes or no? The thing is, if reaction can be replacement of original, that's how DMCA works. I mean, the only thing I think you could do, Potato, is if people really, really don't like this, a clear, distinct line. Okay. So if people really don't like this, Potato, My guess would be you'd have to do what the music artists do and what the television shows do, and you'd have to procure a distribution contract with YouTube to protect yourself. And then the video would be potentially flagged in some way so people would know, I can't, this is protected. This is exclusive to YouTube. I can't do this over on Purple. And then the question would be, can they do it on YouTube? So yeah, you would need some kind of a distribution contract with YouTube and say, listen, I don't want my content to appear in any other content. I own the sole rights to it. It's mine and it can only be viewed on my channel. You'd have to procure that with YouTube. And I don't think YouTube's interested in that crap. Music doesn't give you more than 8 seconds to sample unless you pay. I'm a music producer, so I know that about music. Yeah, music is extremely tough. Extremely tough. They're very protective. And the reason that works is there's a database. So Potato, I get notified on the back end if someone uses my content. Like, we could claim all those re-uploads of my apologies. We may do that one day. But we could claim them because it's just a re-upload. You can't do that. That's against copyright rules. We just never bothered because who the frick cares? It just draws more attention to it, right? But I could claim, if somebody did a reaction to my content, I could claim it, and then they could fight it, and then someone at YouTube has to decide. Now, we got into that on Split Screen when we were doing I Can Cast Anything, because I would shoutcast some video of some guy doing repairs on his car or something, and then that would hit that guy's copyright report, and he'd be like, oh, hey, somebody used my video, and they probably had staff members just automatically claiming the videos. I fought every single one of them. And it just became a headache. I literally said, I'm not doing this anymore. Now, reaction content's a little bit different. When I go and find somebody, and I'm like, I'm going to pause it, I'm going to say something, I'm going to pause it, I'm going to say something. If something like Asmongold or Dr. Disrespect or Tim the Tapman, they're not going to strike me down because, number one, they have staff members that are classier than that. And they understand this is just part and parcel to the business. Won all but one. Yeah, we won all but the takedown because we just didn't feel like fighting the takedown. Takedown's pretty serious. We literally streamed for 3 hours. We showed that guy's the Flugtag video for 2 minutes, and he claimed my entire video. I had to take down my entire stream. I had no recourse. I couldn't go and edit it out. I couldn't respond to him. Like, that's just high. That's just so douchey. I was putting on an entire show. Re-uploaded scumbag activity, reactions changing POV. Watching TV shows and anime shows on a live stream, F that. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to think of... It's kind of akin to taxes, right? My CPA finds everything they can to help me out, right? They do. But I'm not trying to find loophole after loophole after loophole and do some scumbag skeezy stuff that's like right on the line and then like pay no taxes. If they're not willing to exercise their rights, they can't expect others to do it for you. Here's the challenge, Eugene. There's no way to be alerted when somebody does it on Twitch. Excuse me. Loophole goblins are back. That's right. I call them gremlins. There's no way to get alerted when somebody does it on Purple. Somebody would obviously tell you, hey man, did you know, such and such big streamer watched your video. You'd find out. You would. Here, I'm telling you right now, this is small streamer energy. It's small streamer energy. I can't think of a single moderately successful streamer that would give a rip about that. I can't think of a single moderately successful YouTuber who would give a rip about somebody watching their content and basically promoting it. Now, if you watch my entire 25-minute, like SkillUp puts a lot of work into his reviews, right? You watch his entire 20-minute review, and at the end you're like, I disagree, and then you move on to the next thing. No. You just replayed his content. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. Genuine reaction, new content. It's iterative, it's different, it's a new POV. They're pausing it, they're interacting. You know, they can't consume the entire video because they got to sit there and wait for you to shut up. So a 20-minute video, like in my case, a 19-minute video took an hour to complete, and I even chopped off the end of it. I love watching people react to hearing Floor Jansen sing Ghost Love score live at Waken 2012. The actual voice instructors will constantly pause and point out technique. Too long, didn't read, she's good. I saw that part of the argument as well, that people make videos for weeks and then somebody takes it and reacts to it and earns more money. No, I get that. But you have to see, Potato. That video wasn't going to do numbers anyway. Do you see that point? That's the point that I don't think they're really grasping with. If you have 1,000 subscribers and you're throwing up videos that you're pouring your heart and soul into, and they're getting maybe 200 to 500 views, that person watching your video isn't changing that. That ecosystem isn't being disrupted. If you're like me, we're nearing 15,000 subs. Our daily streams get anywhere from 2 to 4K views. Really good days go way above that. So a couple streams a day, 2K, 2K, 3K, 2K, 4K. Like each vid doing pretty well. If somebody pulls up my video and watches it on their stream, they're not disrupting that. They just aren't. That point's irrelevant from a standpoint of whether it's legal or acceptable. Well, it's legal, and you can certainly formulate your own opinion on whether or not it's acceptable. I think there are acceptable versions of reaction content, and there are ones that are legal but probably shouldn't be. They're like way down there. If you have one idea, you need to protect it. If you are a guy with many ideas, then having someone advertise a single idea helps you. For example, this guy doesn't give two craps. They claim everything. Legal's iffy. It's iffy when they go that far down, Eugene, for sure. What I did yesterday was totally legal. I didn't do anything outside of the bounds of what fair use case law would dictate is acceptable. I didn't do any. Now, if I would have just let that video play for 19 minutes and was like, yeah, I don't really agree with him, and then we just talked for an hour afterwards, you would be like, well, now wait a minute, that wasn't really, you just replayed the video. That would be considered like, as you're saying, iffy. Like, I don't know, man, that's not really what fair use dictates. That's where the reactor needs to act in good faith and do what they can to push their audience to the original creator. But people watch Asmongold to watch only Asmongold. But that's not true, because the people that he promotes get tons of views. 400 likes, it's time. We just hit 300. I don't know if we're going to get another 100 out of thin air. Hang on. I think so much of this is built on the faulty conception of like, you're taking views from me, right? You have to understand something. The people watching Purple aren't coming to YouTube to watch your videos probably anyway. So there isn't some weird net loss. That just isn't how it works. Again, that's why the way Asmongold does it works so well, is because he kicks the video over to YouTube, and then the YouTube crowd can support the video. I've never watched Asmongold before yesterday. If he pops up in my feed, I may give him another try, eventually using him to replace Lono. My plan has been totally foiled. Here's the thing. We got to move on. We don't like these streams to get too long these days. You know, we get around 2,000 views and then we bail, because there's only so much we can say about the main topic, and we are not talking about the main topic anymore. So, Elden Ring Ghost nerfed some bosses. We're going to be talking about that in a brief moment. I'm going to quickly run upstairs, use the restroom, stretch my legs. Guys, if you haven't ordered coffee or become a member, consider doing that to support the channel directly. The coffee's not a sponsor. You're buying it from me. My wife and kids ship it to you. It supports what we do. We really, really need membership to keep climbing. That 600 member goal is still there. Gifted members hopefully comes next month, and that will significantly help. We almost never run advertisements, which is why we have to do 100% is why we have to do members-only content and members-only incentives, all right? Because we do not make our money off the ads. But I do run them when I run upstairs because it does help a little bit, all right? Stick around for the next show. Don't go anywhere. We're not shutting down. We'll be transitioning to the show about the Elden Ring bosses getting sort of quietly ghost nerfed. And I will be shutting down the TikTok stream. We're still waiting for them to update that platform because we are not getting a single ounce of traction over there. I'm streaming to myself most days. Like, we spike up and have 30 or 40 people, and then no one sticks around. If you're not pretty and doing ASMR, they're going to need to create gaming categories, and then we'll probably do okay, which I know they're interested in. So for now, we're only doing like one stream a day on TikTok. I'm not staying live over there for very long. Okay? I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, man. Let's see. Oops. My daughter is like obsessed with showers all of a sudden. She went from taking baths. She's got a shower in her own room, which is why we gave it to her, because she's the oldest. And we thought, especially as a girl, it's like, you know, one day you're going to want your own bathroom. And she is all about it, man. She loves it. Okay. Do. Worst things to be obsessed with? Oh, yeah. For real. Get my boy to be obsessed with it. He actually likes taking baths, especially when his allergies act up, because it really, really helps. We do like a bath bomb, and yeah, it really helps him. Do. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Now, the reason we're doing this Elden Ring thing today is because with Diablo Immortal coming out on Thursday and the State of Play happening on Thursday, we just can't imagine covering Elden Ring on Friday morning. More than likely, we'll be covering something else, right? So, okay, quote. Did you notice these ghost nerfs in Elden Ring? Let's discuss. Okay, send that. Let's end the poll. And let's put this in. I gotta get this video up so we have something playing. Gosh, it's such a gorgeous game. Whenever I load this video, I'm always jealous that I'm not playing. Do we have redirect set up? We do. All right, I'm going to put a link in chat just in case redirect doesn't work. It's time for our second show. Elden Ring nerfed bosses quietly. Elden Ring nerfed bosses quietly. Apparently, this is something that is news to me, but it actually lines up with an experience that I had recently. Reports are coming in that Elden Ring nerfed bosses in their recent update, which is actually kind of old at this point. This is not a recent update. We're going to be covering what was discovered, and I will give sort of my own account of things. I am been playing through the game, doing an Elden Ring no summon run. We do that every Friday. We're at part 9 or 10, and I noticed this in one of the fights the other day and just thought maybe I got lucky because aggro patterns can be kind of weird, but then I read this report and I thought we got to run this. Now, the reason we're not running this on Friday, I'm going to bring everybody over with a live redirect. The reason we're not running